Anybody remember the one before this, the Big Bang Theory before this? So Cooper probably discovers this thing, and Sheldon's like, you didn't do anything great. Of course, Sheldon's very self-centered, and he's kind of like, why are you getting all this? So they coach him the session, the TV segment before, into being, sometimes you just got to be a good friend and nod and smile and be happy about somebody else. Okay, that's hard for somebody. I mean, I can't imagine that. If you see somebody sad, what do? Oh, what's wrong? How you doing? Or if you're busy, or you're not for sure if you want to ask the question, what do? Because sometimes you don't want to ask people if they're really sad. You may not have the time, but what do?
Just ignore them.
Well, you don't make eye contact, right? Okay. And you try to go the other direction, okay? And it's not to be mean, it's just we know the social pieces to navigate the world around us. So Sheldon in here, what does he do? You just need to smile. He's like, he's got this great big smile. It's not natural, okay? I have kids and adults that I work with. I have to teach them how to do simple things like this. The hidden world that's around us. As I'm walking in, I don't remember who it was, and I have my stuff, and they know I'm late, right? So they step to the side. They said, "Oh, go first," right? But how did they know to do that? Anybody have an idea? I don't remember who it was. I apologize. I was like on an agenda. Come on, somebody's got to guess. I won't pick on you too bad, I promise.
I knew you were late.
They did, yeah. By body language, right? And I'm walking fast, and I'm breathing hard because I just ran from one building over at MSU to this building, and I'm like, oh God. And Jill's out there yelling at me. And he probably doesn't know very often, right? Is your husband here?
No.
But anyway, somehow they picked up. They didn't ask me. They just understood from my body language, that was comment, and the conversation around me, that that's what was happening. And then when somebody, I think they went like this, and I apologize, and I was like, no, you go first. And because I was raised where men let women go first, okay, that's the way I was raised. So I had a little dilemma there. I was like, no, you go first. And then in my head, I didn't say it out loud. So we have these hidden agendas, or these hidden rules that we always constantly follow, okay? Walmart, how many of you go to Walmart on Saturday? Right? Never. Why not? Will you share? Never. Why?
Too many people. Yeah.
You get run over. I probably almost get run over like 4 or 5 times. Depends how close you are. Right? So, right, it's crazy. Walmart is crazy. So, those who have seen me talk about this before, you're going to look at Walmart different after today, okay? So when you go to Walmart, okay, I usually don't go on the weekends. My wife will never go to Walmart with me on the weekends. She'll stay in the car, okay? And I'm a big guy, so and we have a little 9-month-old baby, so it's kind of like, I gotta drive in, I gotta leave mine, okay? So when you go to Walmart, if you go to Walmart, and you're in your car, you're not even in the parking lot, what's the first thing you do when you pull into the parking lot?
Try to find the closest spot.
You try to find a spot, right? So, and I'm not going to pick on anybody, but you can be one of those people who are like, I'll drive around for 20 minutes. Right? Okay. Or I'll find the spot, which is usually in nowhere land. Okay. So you drive around, and you finally find a spot. So you get out of your car, then what do?
I have to look at the sign to see what row I'm parking in.
Yeah. We don't have quite a big Walmart, but if you're in a big city, you get lost. I've lost my car a couple of times. Especially if I drive a different car, and I'm like, oh, because I'm looking I have a Suburban, I'm like, you can usually see that, and my other car is little, and I'm like, I don't know where. Right? Sometimes I go back to the same entrance and try and walk out. But, right, so, okay, you're like, okay, I'm in this road, then what do? So I'm outside my car.
Check for my grocery list.
Yeah, you gotta get all your stuff with you, right, and the door's way down there, so now what do?
You start walking.
Start walking, okay. I know I'm being a little cynical here. So I'm walking, right? But as I'm walking towards this door way down here, what am I doing? I'm walking. Trying not to get hit, right? What else?
You're thinking about what you're going to buy.
Probably. I usually don't worry until I get to the door because I don't want to get hit. But you have people coming out. You have people coming behind you. You have cars backing out. You have cars going the wrong direction up the aisle, right? All these things. So you have to pay attention to all these things. Now, do you actually think about all that stuff? No, you just do it. Like your little kid who's running around, he doesn't realize, he's like, I'm gonna run around. You know, he's smushed, okay? So you hold his hand, right? So you're walking, I'm walking the door, and I'm paying attention to all this stuff. As I get closer to this door, what am I doing?
Picking a side to go into.
Okay, gotta pick a side to go into. So I'm gonna go on the right side. Why do we go into the right side?
One that says enter.
Well, actually, it depends which door you go in. Some it's on the left side, and it doesn't say enter on the outside, it says enter on the inside. So I don't know, you guys pay attention next time you go. It annoys me. Okay. So, but we drive on the right side of the road, right? Most people go to the right door. Okay? All right? So, but at Walmart, actually, if you go there, pay attention, I think it's the west door. The right side is actually the exit, and the left side is the entrance, but there's no sign outside, it's inside, okay? So, and it probably drives me nuts because I think about all this stuff now, so it didn't 10 years ago. Okay, so I'm headed towards the door. I probably moved to the right side. What else am I doing?
Looking for a card.
I might be looking for a card, but there might be a card outside I might grab, okay? Or I'll get one on the inside. But most people pick one up right on the inside. Okay, so I'm walking. I'm going to challenge all you guys. So what do you do as you're walking towards that door? What are you doing without knowing what you're doing?
Watching other people.
What's that?
You're watching other people.
You're watching other people. Why are you watching other people?
Make sure they're not gonna run into you. No.
Yeah. Well, are you watching the cars? Are you watching all that? As I get closer to that door, guess what? All thousands of us have to get through a space this big. Okay? So how do you decide as a person, I'm going to get myself through this door? I'm a good guy. I like to push everybody over, right? But that wouldn't last very long because most people want to own a gun. Okay? So, right? So how do you figure out how to get through that door? Because you don't think about it. Most of the time.
You just kind of enter the flow. You pick your place. And
You enter the flow, but how do you know how to enter the flow?
Look for a gap.
You look for a gap. Do you consciously look for a gap? No, as you're walking. So this is all the rules you follow. And this is just one moment in time, okay? 5 minutes from my car to the, so I'm walking, paying attention to all this stuff. I'm stopping, I'm slowing down, somebody's coming towards me, so now I gotta decide to go to the right, do I go to the left, is there a car backing out? Right, I keep walking, I'm walking, everybody's coming towards this door. I adjust my pace to fit in with everybody else that's walking. And everybody else is adjusting their pace. Now you have a few people who don't care and they just keep going, right? I can usually pick people out on the spectrum just by standing at the front door or the toy aisle, okay? So, one of the cases. So because they don't have that awareness sometimes of what's around. Now this isn't true for everybody because I have some people who are really great at it, but you're adjusting your space to get through this tiny little spot, and you manage to do it without running into people, without pushing them over, and everybody just kind of filters in through the door. Then you grab a card, and then on the other side, everybody goes like this, right? So there's hundreds, if not thousands of little rules, hidden rules that you follow just to get through that front door. And we follow rules every day, all the time. You get up, you go to work, you drive on the right side of the street, stop for a street light. You know, if you're a teenager, they actually have to think about putting their foot on the brake. Most of us don't even think about it. Right? My teenager, he's got a stick shift, which is unheard of. And so he was driving a car without a stick shift. So guess what he did? Yeah, his left foot went right on the brake. Right on 10th Avenue, okay? Right? So there's lots of automatic things. So what I want you to think about is there's lots of things hidden in plain sight. We all follow because our brains are able to do that. From birth, our brains are kind of wired in a certain way. We pick up on all these things. We're taught all these things. And we can get through that door without a lot of problems, okay? The kid on the autism spectrum, he's just going to go, right? He's here, get the car, and he keeps going, okay? And there's always somebody that says, man, that kid's rude, or some other thing, right? Or something happens. So I just want you to think about that, because out of all the social rules that are out there, you have to teach that to kids on the autism spectrum. It doesn't come naturally to them. And if you teach it in one place, sometimes you got to teach it in another place. And it's hard, they call it generalizing skills. So sometimes it's really hard to generalize the skills because kids will learn it in one place and you're like, well, I just taught them that, right? Just taught them how to do something in one place. Why can't he do it over here? Because sometimes in their mind it's like, this is the only place I do it. I do it right here. This is the only place I do it. There's no other place to do it. In fact, some kids will tell you that. It's like, no, I only do that at home. I only do that at school. I only do that in my room. Right? So we have to teach a lot of those things. And it's very annoying because I think of the thousands and thousands and thousands of things you have to teach kids. So when you guys leave here today, pay attention to how you're getting out the door. Okay, pay attention to the parking lot. Parking lot people are not so nice because they're like, if I get my car out first, everybody's going to stop for me. Right? Church people are a little bit nicer. Okay. You know, a wedding or what, you know, we have all these social things that we follow. So that Lucy said, if everybody agrees with me, they'd be all right. Okay. So a lot of individuals on the autism spectrum is kind of like Sheldon. What does he believe? I'm right. And I'm right all the time. Okay, what does his friends think? Yeah, they get tired of him. And then he's like, what did I do? Right? So it's important to really think about, I changed slides up today, so I apologize. I'm notorious for doing that. I'm like, oh, I don't like that, and I don't like that. Some people will disagree with me on a few things, and that's okay, but there's always more than one way to skin a cat. And I'll show you this little piece. So this is a kid I worked with his math homework. I'm glad we have these big screens, it's more clear. So what do you see? Tell me what you see. It's sideways, so I apologize, right? So what do you see with the homework?
His mind's continuously going. It looks like he's not focused on one thing.
Possibly. He's frustrated. How do you tell he's frustrated?
Yeah,
He's raised a hole in the paper. Okay. Right. And I mean he's written over and 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 over. So this is a sheet 30 math problems, takes him about 4 hours. Okay. And so in his mind, what he's doing, I'll tell you what he's doing. And it took me a little bit to figure this out because you have to be a detective. You're like, why is he doing this? He should just do it. And here's the thing, he can do the math problems. That's not a problem at all for him. So these squares are little, about this big. Okay? So I just asked lots of questions and I'm like, okay. And I've been doing this long enough. I'm like, well, has you ever had a handwriting assessment, fine motor skills assessment? No, so I said, let's get one. So guess what? He has fine motor control problem, okay? I go back and I look at his records. He also has a processing issue. So he has all these thoughts up here, but his hand cannot move as fast as the brain is. Okay, and that's true for most of us. But imagine you're going down 10th Avenue and you want to go 30 and everybody's going 5. Okay? And it's frustrating, right? So that's what it's like for these kids, or individuals. And I say kids a lot, I apologize. So anyway, so I looked at that and I said, okay, it's processing. You can't get it out fast enough, right? It's got fine motor skills. And the box is this small, okay? So it's a really big box. And then he's got kids on the autism spectrum have this obsessive compulsive kind of behavior where they do things till they get it right. So sometimes it has to be perfect, right? And they will spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, or they'll get really mad and frustrated and blow up. So here's the thing, he had to get it perfect, and he's trying to get everything squunched in there to make sure there's just enough space, and he didn't like his handwriting, so he kept erasing and erasing and erasing. And so just through a little, I think I have another picture, so that's a different one, but his papers are littered like that. I mean, and it's only this, it's only math. Doesn't do it in other assignments, okay? So he's trying to follow these rules that fit in the box, okay? And my writing's gotta be good, because what do people tell me to do? Have nice handwriting, right? You gotta write the whole formula. And I'm not a math teacher, but I hate math, so, right? So there's lots of rules he's trying to follow. What would you guys do? If you got frustrated, like, I can't fit this in the box, and don't think like a kid on the autism spectrum, what would you do today?
Get a bigger piece of paper.
Yeah, get a bigger piece of paper. Now, kids on the autism spectrum love to follow rules. Okay, the rule is, this is the piece of paper you have to write it on. Okay? The rule is, you have to fit it in this box. So guess what he did when I suggested